So this MJ and LeBron James debate is just spiraling out of control, bro. Rich Paul is making a fool out of himself once again, right? Trying to sit there and put LeBron James over Michael Jordan. We all know that Rich Paul is a zesty bronzexual, right? He's a pansexual bronzexual, right? All the types of bronzexual. That's what Rich Paul is. And he's just trying to change the narrative, right? In response to Michael Jordan agent coming out there and saying this about Michael Jordan being over LeBron James.
I really like LeBron, but I think that if Jordan had cherry-picked what teams he wanted to be on that had two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships.
Oof. And I 100% agree with him. Like, if you sit there and say that Michael Jordan is in an era where he can handpick the players that he played with, how many championships that you think Michael Jordan will win, right? Like, this is the thing that I don't understand. Michael Jordan has never played with a top 3 player, never played with a top 5 player. Maybe he's played with a top 10 player, depending what you think of Scottie Pippen's peak. But, bro, he's never played with any top 5 players throughout his career and way more championships than LeBron James. Meanwhile, LeBron James has played with multiple top 5 players. D-Wade, Anthony Davis. He played with a top 3 player in Luka Doncic and never reached the level of success and the dominance that Michael Jordan has reached. And we talk about Michael Jordan playing in the era where, you know what I'm saying, it was dominant in the Eastern Conference, right? LeBron James played in a weak Eastern Conference, right? So the fact that you ain't won championships and you could be sitting there and saying that you're the reason why you lost championships, I mean, come on, bro. LeBron James could never sit there and say that every time he won a championship, he led the lead in scoring, made first team All-NBA, first team All-Defensive Team, right? Won an MVP, and, just won championships and finals MVPs. He could never sit there and say that. Jordan did that 6 times. That's the level of dominance he was, right? But I agree with him. If you put Michael Jordan in this era, like, he would be even more dominant. Like, the era and what the game is being played and his ability to drive the ball to the basket, his scalability, his ability to fit in multiple schemes, right? I think he would just translate better than anybody. The game is softer now. I mean, flip-flop, you be at the free throw line, like, he would just dominate more than anybody as a scorer, as a perimeter player, as a guy that's driving the ball to the basket. There's no real elite level defenders at the rim. So, and I just think that the spacing would defeat the narrative of, like, people sitting there saying that he's never played zone. Like, if you have good spacing, it could beat any zone. And I think Jordan was a tremendous playmaker. He has a sense of feel, just driving the ball to the basket, making those second side reads. Like, he was really, really elite, right? So I think Michael Jordan will be even more dominant in this era. I think you average 40. James Harden can average 36, and he's not nowhere near the versatility of score as Michael Jordan. What do you think Michael Jordan do, right? But this is what Rich Paul had to sit there and say.
Again, the cherry pick, I've discussed that. The 2 other superstars, Michael never had to leave. Michael's never been the underdog in any finals. Not one time. Michael never had a 24-hour, 365 news cycle. He never had shows built strictly to criticize him. People made millions of dollars criticizing LeBron James. That was their entire job. And when you talk about the difficulty of it all, Michael played for Dean Smith, Michael played for Phil Jackson, and Michael had Jerry Krause.
He wasn't an established coach yet, right? Michael Jordan, before Phil Jackson came there, bro, Michael Jordan was giving you those 7-8 assists. He was leading the NBA in scoring, won MVP and DPOI. So to sit there and say that Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson, these other guys and stuff like that, and it's like, bro, they were nothing without Michael Jordan. What are you talking about before Phil Jackson came over there to the Chicago Bulls? Those are facts. And they didn't give Michael Jordan the silver platter and sit there and say, you know what, hey, bro, you're going to play with these type of players. You're going to play with top 5 players in the league, top 3 players in the league. No, he waited until Scottie Pippen developed into an all-star caliber player. He installed championship DNA within that organization, because Michael Jordan didn't sit there and do what LeBron James do and sit there and say, okay, I'm getting my ass beat by the Detroit Pistons. I'm getting my ass beat by the Boston Celtics. I'm getting beat by the Pistons every single year because I'm out-talented So let me go run and go join a top 3 player. Let me go join Hakeem Olajuwon, or let me go to play with, Magic, or let me go play with these other guys as well, right? No, he stayed put, right? He waited until those players developed to all-star caliber player, right? And he won championships. Michael Jordan was not involved in like decision making within the franchise, right? Like he didn't come in there, and it's what Jerry Krause sat there and said. Michael Jordan never came and sat there and said, "Okay, let's get this player, let's get this player, let's get this player, let's go trade this player." No, he didn't. He didn't do that. That's not what Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played the game of basketball. He was the more dominant basketball player than LeBron James. And then to sit there and say that Michael Jordan was never an underdog in the final, that's factually incorrect. He was the underdog against the 1991 Lakers. People think the Lakers was going to win because the Bulls didn't have any all-star caliber players on that team, on that roster yet. They didn't have no All-NBA players on that roster yet, right? And nobody thought that the Bulls would have won. I mean, you had some people that think the Bulls would win, but the Lakers were the favorites, right? But the reason why, that just speaks to the dominance of Michael Jordan. People believe in Michael Jordan. He was the head honcho. He was the killer. He was the guy. He was the best player on a championship team for 3 straight years. 2-piece, 3-piece. Like, that's never been done outside of those 60 Celtics teams. But that's how dominant Michael Jordan was. Like, even in the second, 3-peat where Scottie Pippen had a bad back and, Dennis Rodman was not the same caliber player that he was, right? And you didn't have an elite creators on the roster, Michael Jordan still dominated. Like, there was teams that were still more talented than the Chicago Bulls, or right around talented than the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan was still able to lead them to a championship, being dominant, having dominant postseason runs as well, if you look at it from a relative efficiency standpoint, just dominant, right? So what are you talking about? The reason why people were picking for the Bulls because of Michael Jordan. That's an indictment to LeBron, because LeBron James, you couldn't believe a guy that lost 6 times in the finals was really the main reason why he lost the finals in 2 of his, maybe 3 of his 6 finals as well. Like, come on, bro. Like, we just got to be honest and then just sit there and just lie, saying that Michael Jordan didn't face any media pressure and doubt. Lie. Just because it was not broadcast on TV like it is now, like, Michael Jordan was still getting bashed to the degree of LeBron James. People were saying he was a ball dominant. People were saying he was a ball hog. You would never win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You just selfish as a basketball player. You just a scorer. That's all the media people were just doubting of Michael Jordan. They would even sit there and call him a gambler and all that other stuff of his personal issues. So to sit there saying he was not getting crucified to the way of LeBron James is crazy. It's crazy. But the reason why LeBron James get crucified by the media, well, I don't even think LeBron James get crucified for the media, because you got multiple media darlings like Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Brian Windhorst, Richard Jefferson, who sit there and push agendas for LeBron James to be the GOAT, who is LeBron James' puppets. So to sit there and think that LeBron James getting bashed by the media, no, he doesn't. He gets sucked up by the media, and they sit there and push his case of being a GOAT over Michael Jordan. So that's number one. So no, LeBron James didn't face the criticism that Michael Jordan faced in his earlier careers. No, because Michael Jordan didn't have nobody that was sitting there sucking him up 24/7 and sitting there saying that, oh, he's the GOAT, when he hasn't even proved nothing to be in the conversation of being the GOAT, right? So it's just crazy. I don't understand this as well. This is just sad. If Michael Jordan played in this era and he started his career, people would crucify Michael Jordan as well. Like, this is just not true. Like, LeBron James fanboy just got to just stop lying with this revisionist history. Like, Rich Paul is wrong, and he's completely embarrassing himself, right? So I just don't understand. Like, when LeBron James sat there and said that made me the GOAT, and you sit there and claim that you're the GOAT and you're the self-proclaimed GOAT, well, I don't get it. Like, of course you're going to get crucified because you think you're better than Jordan. Like, we're talking about a guy that came into the league and people were sitting there saying that he was the GOAT. He's the next Michael Jordan. He's the king. Like, a guy that's coming out of high school that's already getting compared to Michael Jordan, that's sitting there saying he's the king? No. Jordan has never had those comparisons when he came out of college. He has never had those comparisons. People ain't never sitting there saying he was better than Bill Russell or Kareem coming out of college. No, nobody has never sat there and said it. LeBron James had that, and people were sitting there putting on conversations where he don't belong before he stepped foot in playing the game of basketball, Rich Paul. Gosh, you Bron sexual. I can't stand y'all, bro. Let's talk about the game and be honest. Be honest. Those are my thoughts. It's your boy, Mookie Jones. I'm out.